Okay, welcome to MSPS Dhamma Sharing Online. This event is jointly organized by Mahasatipada Buddhist Society Klang and Mudita Buddhist Society Klang. And joining us today in cross-posting is somebody Satya Alam. It's a new Buddhist society from near Klang. This event is supported by Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia. Today is Tuesday, 13 October 2020. The time now is 8:30. Okay, since there's a few newcomers, a few housekeeping rules before we start. Do display your name for easy identification. Make sure your audio is muted at all times. If you wish to ask a question, you may type your question at the chat box. To ask verbally, you may raise hand, unmute and talk. For those in Facebook, you can type in the questions and we'll pick them up. Please turn off your microphone after asking one person to speak at one time. During guided meditation, please on your video so Bhante can see your progress. But as usual, we have a lot of unseen beings. The meeting room will be locked during the guided meditation session to avoid any disruption. MSBS is fortunate to have with us Bhante Adhibalo, popularly known as Phra Goh. Bhante was born on July 14, 1985. Bhante had his bhikkhu ordination into the Theravada tradition of Thai Dhamma Youth sect at Santi Forest Monastery, Johor, Malaysia in 2008. Bhante spent the first 5 spring retreat in various forest monasteries in Malaysia and Thailand. He is currently the Vice President of Palelai Buddhist Temples, Singapore. Today's talk is on Karma. Bhante will be leading the homage to the Buddha and taking of the 5 precepts for Buddhists. Now let us compose our minds, put our palms together and welcome Bhante. Over to you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Terence, for the introduction. So we are going to start off with the opening chants. Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. 3 refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. And the 5 precepts. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Suramiraya maccappamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, so good evening to one and all. Today is the second episode on Kamma, right? Kamma with the double M. And we are continuing with maybe a short recap of what we've gone through, right? So last week we talked about some secular functions on Kamma, right? Today we are going to talk about the wider spectrum. Okay, so next few slides. Right, so this is the contemplation we are going to use for the meditation later, cause and effect. Right, we are going to reflect that karma is something like we reap what we sow, all the good and bad actions done in the past, and we are going to apply in our meditation. So this will be the theme throughout this karma topic. And again, there are good, bad karmas, and whatever we do is actually creating karmas, even meditation or non-meditative activities. All right, so this is the mundane and supramundane kind of karmas. Okay, next. Okay, then we talk about all this, right? How to be a good person, basically. So all these karma, right, tell you the conditions or the cause for success and unsuccess in your life, right? From health to wealth and even status. Okay, next. So I won't go through them. You can watch the video from last week. Okay, so basically in meditation, we are talking about the here and now. So basically for this talk, we are more on the practical aspect. I will interpret in terms of the meditative side. So basically when we meditate, we try not to react with anger, try not to destroy or try to get rid of the sensations when we are feeling in our meditation. Right, so this is creating this aversion. Okay, next. And next. Right, so the health will lead to harming beings will lead to unhealthy karma. Yeah, next. So beauty is same thing, not to get angry. Next. And influence, right? Okay, so not to be jealous, so we practice appreciative joy. Okay, next. And wealth, we talk about inner contentment. So the mind is all about, early on we talked about katina and generating funds, right? So yeah, aside from physical gifts, we can give other stuff, like Hui-Wen mentioned last week, can be volunteering, and I know some people even give, donate blood, yeah? All kinds of giving, all works. Okay, next. Same thing, status, all about respect, right? If you're respectful to others, then it will reciprocate. Next. And wisdom, right? Ask the right questions to clear your doubt. So these are all got to do with meditation. So similarly in meditation, if you are stuck at any part of the meditation, you cannot improve, you want to overcome this problem, do ask questions. Okay, next. Okay, so today's topic is karma with regard to function. So this one is, I'm going to cover what kind of karmas are there. So this is the terms in blue are mostly commentarial terms. That means they aren't found in the suttas, they're found in the commentaries, but it's relevant from the suttas. Right? So first we have this reproductive karma. Basically what it means that the first intention of creating the karma, so this is the reproductive karma, producing the mental aggregates, right? And the material aggregates. So next one. And the next one is supportive karma. That means the conditions to support the reproductive karma. So these two sort of go hand in hand. So reproductive is the one that you create, and supportive is the kind of karma that help you with the original intent. Okay, next. And we have the obstructive karma, and the last one, destructive karma. So the last two is the opposite of the first two. So obstructive karma obstructs, right? Interrupts the reproductive karma, and the destructive totally negates the reproductive karma. So based on what we discussed last week, I'm just going to give example, because if you just read from here, you may not know what it is about. So we talked about precious human rebirth last week, precious human rebirth, right? So in order to be, let's say, reborn as a human, for example, you need to, let's say, do certain good deeds to become human. Oh, the screen is lost. Okay, never mind. So I'll carry on the story, right? So let's say a person observes certain ethical code of conduct, they do certain good deeds, and they become a human, right? So that is the reproductive karma. And what is supportive karma? Supportive karma would be things like maybe in that particular country, it's a very safe country, it has good medical facilities, you have maybe parents to bring you up. So this is, we call this supportive karma. Supportive karma. And what is this obstructive karma? Obstructive karma is the opposite of the two. So let's say if you are, let's say born a human, obstructive karma would be things like maybe, there are some unhealthy kind of pollution in the environment. And let's say when you are in the womb, for example, obstructive karma. So the fetus, the child, right, the unborn child will face some maybe nutritional, maybe toxification or whatever effects. So this is the obstructive karma. And destructive karma will be things like the baby dies. Destructive karma, maybe due to accident, due to poison, whatever it is. So this is destructive karma. So this is talking about something more metaphysical. So if we were to talk about day-to-day life issues, right? So the first two, or rather the first two and the last two can be swapped, right? Doesn't have to be good first and bad, can be bad reproductive karma followed by good destructive karma. So for example, let's say a person have bad intention, right? They want to maybe do some vices in life, maybe gamble, smoke, take alcohol, take drugs, right? So this is negative reproductive karma. And they have supportive karma, they have peers, they have bad influence that support them, support these activities. And then obstructive karma, for example, would be things like the person becomes financially tight, cannot afford to buy the cigarette, cannot afford to buy the drugs or the alcohol, right? Then they start to, not enough cash. And through for example, the nagging or the persuasion of concerned friends and families, and eventually they give up the bad habit, maybe through counseling, then they give up the bad habit. So that is the destructive karma, right? So this is another example, right? So now even more micro example, So for example, meditation, right? When you come for this class, we want to meditate. So let's say we have this intention to want to meditate. So that is a good reproductive karma. And you have supportive conditions, like for example, you see some advertisement from MSBS and you want to join, or you cannot lock down and you want to join this meditation class. So this supportive karma, you have the conditions. Then obstructive karma, for example, maybe the internet is not working, some of your family members ask you to do certain things, and then destructive karma would be, okay, you finally decide, okay, not to attend this class, or you do something else. So this is another example. All right. So right? So it can be swapped. And when we meditate, even a more micro example would be, we want to meditate, right? Supportive karma, we sit down, have a nice place. Obstructive karma, when we start meditation, start to feel pain, start to have irritation, then the mind will start to feel pain, then all the hindrances come. All the hindrances come. You feel anger, there's greed, right? Then you start to feel restless, the mind wandering all around, and you start to have doubt, whether is this correct or not? Am I sleeping or am I entering concentration? You have lots of doubt. And when the mind think and think and think, worry too much, then eventually you get tired, you fall asleep. So this is the hindrances. So this destructive karma, you end up not meditating, end up these hindrances, you're being bugged by these hindrances. So this is another example of these 4 karmic functions at work, right? So of course, I don't want to spend too much time giving examples, but in meditation, do watch out, right? How to negate the negative ones. So for example, if let's say you have unwholesome thoughts, right? Reproductive karma, unwholesome thoughts. You have greed or anger, right? Supportive karma. Now you're at your comfort of your home, of course you can do what you want, right? So this is the supportive karma. So obstructive karma would be, let's say, my reminder. I keep on giving this verbal instruction to remind you to have loving kindness, to think of impermanence, whatever it is. And then you decided to follow the instruction, and then voila, maybe you can enter states of calm and peace. So this is another example. All right. So this is a few examples of karma at work in meditation. So we're going to use this as a kind of philosophy to bring to our daily life. Right. Hopefully, we can negate all the negative ones and sort of make our life more better. All right. Next slide. Okay, so karma also has priority. There's certain weight to the karma. Okay, so the first one, we have this weighty karma. The ones in red are considered negative, and the ones in green are positive, wholesome karmas. So weighty, we call 5 heinous crimes in Buddhism. A total, there's 6 here, right? So there are 6 weighty karma. So the 5 heinous crimes, first one is creating a schism in the Sangha. That means anybody try to create division in the, let's say, the monastic community, then that would consider this weighty karma. So it is said only a Sangha member can create schism in the Sangha. So you all don't have to worry. Right? Only a Sangha member can create schism in the Sangha. But somehow, maybe some, for layperson, you may instigate a Sangha to create a schism. Can be politically, whatever it is, right? Maybe some people of higher power, they want to exert influence and create their own school, or maybe maybe it doesn't have to be someone in power, somebody in lower position, but has a favorite devotee of a Sangha member, for example. There's certain attachment, and the Sangha member may do certain things for the lay devotee, right? So this is creating a schism in the Sangha. So throughout history, because weighty karma, the effects will be being reborn in the lower realm, right? So it is said that it's so heavy that you'll be reborn in the hell realms. For example, like Devadatta, this in the Buddha's time, he tried to create a schism. In fact, he successfully created a schism during the Buddha's time. He was having a discussion with the Buddha to lay down certain rules and stipulation to be more strict, or to be more ascetic. And the Buddha refused. So he came out declaring to all the monks, according to the scripture, 1,000 of them, that the Buddha is too relaxed, so follow him, he's stricter. So 500 monks, mostly new ones, followed him. So he openly created a schism. So he divided the monastic community. So that is considered one of the heavy karma. And the second one will be wounding a Buddha. So Devadatta did that too. Yeah, he tried to assassinate the Buddha, but very unfortunate, he is unable to do that. So no, he pushed down a boulder. The boulder managed to split into several pieces and cut the Buddha's foot. So I gave that example in the 11 benefits of loving kindness. No, if you practice loving kindness, no weapon can, nothing can harm. No poison weapon, fire can harm one. So it's not the physical thing that harms the practitioner. So the Buddha also can get wounded by a rock, right? So because of that action, Devadatta got reborn in the hell realm, right? They said that he was reborn in the hell. In fact, he doesn't need to wait for him to pass away. He's so heavy that the ground opened up. No, then the hell ate him up when he was alive. So that was the story of Devadatta. Okay, so throughout history, we'll talk about the first point again, creating this schism, because we know it's so heavy that a person can be reborn in the hell. So now today, there's so many schools of Buddhism, so many schools. Are they created from a schism, right? Logically, a monk or monastic or nun would think of their own welfare. No, who would want to be reborn in the hell realm? Nobody, right? So what happened is, according to the monastic rule, a schism is created at least having 8 persons. You need to have 8 persons. And you need to have 4 on one side. That means 2 camps, 2 sides, 4 on each side, and they openly discuss that they disagree with each other. Then that's why they split into 2. So this is considered a schism. So if let's say there are 8 monastics and then 6 to 2, not schism. 6 to 3, not schism. Must be 7 to, sorry, my maths failed. 4 to 3, not schism. Right? So you need to have 4 to 4. At least 4 on each side, then considered a schism. All right. So, so for most of the schools, let's say when they are formed, sometimes they can discuss on their own privately. Let's say when Buddhism spread to various parts of the world, and that particular school adopted its own culture, maybe due to, and also added in some political element to it, and then a new school is formed, right? So there's no open discussion with the monks from the other parts of the world or the place of origin to say that, oh, our practices are different from you. So that's why the Sri Lankans chant differently from the Burmese chant differently from the Thais, all the pronunciations are different, maybe some of the practices are also different. So there's no schism, right? It's cultural changes along the way. So they adopt this kind of stuff. So same with the other traditions. Okay, so this I covered the first point. Hopefully it clears some doubt. And third one, okay, murdering an arahant. Murdering an arahant. So it is said that the Buddha cannot be killed. The Buddha cannot be killed. He has lots of guardian devas protecting him. So the most he can get is some injury, like what this Devadatta has caused. And murdering an arahant is somehow possible. Like, for example, this Venerable Mahamoggallana is beaten to death. He got beaten to death by some bandits, right? So Venerable Mahamoggallana is the left-hand man of the Buddha, foremost in psychic power, right? Foremost in psychic power, also can get beaten to death. Right? How come he's not using his psychic abilities to defend himself? Right? Because he's able to see his past life, and he found out that he created something very unwholesome in some of his past lives. He murdered, he harmed his parents. Right? He poisoned his parents. So after going through the hell realms and being reborn as a human again, he has to receive this karma. So he decided to accept his fate, and he got beaten up to death. He doesn't want to retaliate. So that's his karma. So again, we talk about the last 2 points, matricide and patricide. So this is the 4th and 5th heinous crimes, killing one's own parents, mother and father, because they are the ones that give you life, so you need to show them gratitude, right? So no, we try not to do these 5. And the last one, permanent false view. Permanent false view. So this, for example, permanent false view would be things like maybe killing. Killing would be killing a human or killing whatever is a good deed. You can be reborn in heaven, for example, if you kill humans. So this is normally the kind of excuse maybe terrorists will want to use to motivate their underlings to do it, but they themselves, the leaders on top, don't want to do it. No, it's used to create this kind of a horde, sheep, the sheep mentality to gather people to fight for them. So normally these are, or maybe certain practices, maybe human sacrifice, right? They maybe like, for example, the Aztecs or whatever it is, they dig up the heart of the person, like you see in Indiana Jones, and they think that's a kind of sacrifice to enter heaven. So again, if a person does something that they feel guilty of, there's some guilty conscience, and they still do it, and they believe it's right, then it's a permanent false view. So no matter how you counsel and try to change them, right, then they still cannot change. So this is very hard to overcome. So it's considered a weighty karma, right? So it's a negative kind of weighty karma. And the last 3, we're talking about positive kinds of weighty karma, formless kind of concentrations, and the last one, sainthood. If a person becomes, let's say, a sotapanna all the way to an arahant, right, that is also a karma, right? That is also a karma. So this one is mostly found in the Abhidhamma kind of classification, right? There are 52 kinds of consciousness as a result of karma, and quite a number of them is got to do with this heavy positive karma as well. So you can't, like I mentioned again, you can find this in a post-canonical kind of description. Later on, or maybe in the next lesson, I'll show you the sutta that may be slightly different. Okay, next. And this one is the death proximate karma. That means the last thought moment before dying. So this is considered the important factor that causes this rebirth. So if a person has negative proximate karma at the last death moment, that you think of something bad, and that is bringing you to the lower realms, and vice versa. And some people think they can play cheat. Okay, just do what they want in their life, wait for the last thought moment, then think of the good deeds. Then might help you. Actually, very dangerous, because you have this thing called habitual karma. Habitual karma. What makes you so certain that your last thought moment, you can guarantee you can generate good thoughts? Right, so the habitual karma, right, the habitual thinking process will weigh in. Same with the weighty karma, they will weigh in, and this is the other factors. And the last one, unspecified karma, right? That means things that not accounted for. Not accounted for, because not every karma can ripen, right? There are some things may be pushed to next life, or some karma may not even ripen, because let's say a person gets enlightened, escape from samsara, then all the past karmas cannot be totally accounted for. So again, these are the 4. Okay, and the next one, next slide. Okay, we're just going to cover this before we end the theory. So there's immediate effective karma, things that will take effect now. So for example, if a person does something bad and then they get arrested, so this is immediate effective karma. So to talk about meditation, for example, if let's say a person does something unwholesome, they create, let's say they generate anger. So the immediate effect, you can feel it, right? It harms the body, your blood pressure goes up. What else does it do? You can feel your mind being more restless. So this is immediately effective karma. You take effect here and now, right? So vice versa for the good intention, good thoughts, the karma will take effect immediately. Then the next one, subsequently effective karma, bears fruit in the next life. And again, indefinitely effective karma. You bear fruit not just second life, and in fact, many more lives to come. So for example, a few examples would be like past life stories, things like why certain people are maybe enemies for many, many lifetimes, like things like why Devadatta disliked the Buddha for many, many lifetimes, because in a past life, he made a certain vow to be a competitor or treat the Buddha as the enemy. Because past life they were merchants, they were competitive merchants, and he did not get the deal. He didn't get to sell his managed to make his business deal. So the Buddha made the deal in a past life, and he got upset. So that's why Devadatta made a vow to become enemies. So you can find this in the Jataka tales. So for at least 500 lifetimes, they were he disliked the Buddha for 500 lifetimes. So same thing, why some people are friends or relations for maybe many lifetimes, could be past life as well, right? A past life kind of intention, a past life inclination or attachment. Okay, and the last one, defunct karma, no longer bears fruit, similar as the unspecified karma, doesn't take effect. Maybe a person already realized Nibbana, then the future life gone. Yeah. Okay, so I've covered here, right? Now it's 9 o'clock. There's actually more, so I'll cover in the next lesson, third episode. So I leave the floor to the Q&A. Any questions? Oh yes, Terence. Yeah.
Okay. For you see the sutta, a lot of them mentioning one incident, and then the destructive karma is immediate, means they reborn in ghosts or hell. Is
Yeah, that
that
is
only
the
one
weighty.
incident? Yeah. Because they even like the queen, is it Queen Maya? She was
Queen, yeah,
born
yeah.
in hell for 7 days or
Queen
something.
Malika, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen Pasenadi's wife, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it's just one incident and she was born in hell for 7 days, is it?
Yeah, the the lower realms, because that's the death proximate karma, right? Because she thought of something unwholesome, she did something remorseful during her life. So at the moment of death, then that karma takes effect. But because of all the other good deeds she's done, then after 7 days, then the bad karma sort of exhausted. Then she managed to reborn in heaven. So yeah, this story is how do you call it? This King Pasenadi, went to question the Buddha. He wanted to know, where is his wife born? Where is the rebirth of his wife? Right. So being sort of a new convert, this king, right? King Pasenadi, being some sort of a new Buddhist, right? So the Buddha doesn't want to shake his faith and tell him that, oh, your wife is reborn in hell. So the Buddha is like, and then the king will be like, hey, why am I supporting the Buddha for what? No, it doesn't guarantee good rebirth, right? So certain things cannot be so easily understood. So he remained silent. The Buddha remained silent. He doesn't want to answer the question. So again, a few more days, the king went to ask the Buddha. The Buddha also remained silent. until after the 7th day, when the negative karma is being used up by this Queen Malika. Then she got reborn in heaven. Right? So this is the workings of the death proximate karma. Yep. So in the end, the karma thing is still fair. Still fair. So again, when we talk about this thing, then it kind of contradict the certain destructive karma thing, because in the sutta, we'll find out later, like for example, when we talk about this unused karma, right? The bad one, we cannot totally sort of negate it. What happens is we can dilute the karma. So when we have enough positive karma, the negative one looks negligible. So when the bad one is being used up, then the good one will come and replenish. All right, so hopefully that answers the question. Any other questions?
Bante, just now you were talking about indefinitely effective karma.
Yeah.
The one bear fruit from third life till last life when you realize Nibbana. But Moggallana is already achieved Nibbana. How come he still got this karma chasing after him?
Yeah, until a person reaches Nibbana, right? So that would mean, in fact, I think, okay, maybe after Parinibbana, that means after passing away. So even if a person is still alive, they have to face karmas. Yeah. For example, like even Angulimala, right? This venerable Angulimala, he killed a lot of people. The story says 999 people. Yeah. It's like a mass murderer. Right? So he has to face a lot of this karma of being beaten and injured every day, even after becoming a monk. All right. Okay. So any other?
Everyone raise a hand.
Yes. Even, yeah.
One thing, can I ask, like, I'm curious how, when we do the sharing, transferring of the merits at the end, how does it like help other people's karma? Because the karma is, I mean, so far what we learn is like what we do ourselves, right? Then what is how does it link to the sharing of the merits?
Yes, very good question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because we reap what we sow. So this is the short of this karma. Yeah, that's the summary. So how does dedication of merits work? Right, it mostly helps unseen beings, because they are more sensitive to these kind of energies, mental energies. So when we direct our mind to these unseen beings, especially if we've done some cultivation, done some good. So if they rejoice, then they are creating their own positive karma. We cannot transfer karma to them. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. So we dedicate to them. It's more like a lighthouse, showing the light. Then they themselves must steer their own boat and steer themselves. All right.
So for like living beings, right, you can't like transfer to them. How can they like also rejoice?
Yeah, that's why the merits are mostly for unseen beings and departed. Yeah, if you read the translation. But if we practice loving kindness out of practicing this boundless loving kindness, then we dedicate to all beings, seen and unseen. Right. So for humans, because we are sensitive to vibes, sensitive to this mental frequency and emotion. If we enter a room full of negative people, toxic environment, we'll feel depressed. We'll get depressed. So we are affected. So similarly, this mental energy can affect other human beings as well. right? So depending on the strength or the samadhi of the practitioner, sometimes can even long range. Yeah. So sometimes we do dedication or prayer for someone who is sick, or if you are a more veteran meditator, then you think of them, then the energy might reach them. So again, if they are not sensitive to your energy, they don't want to feel energy, then it's pointless also. Yeah. But if let's say they are in the right mood, right frame of mind, then they're relaxed and they're able to suddenly feel something positive, right? Then it might change their emotion and their train of thoughts. For example, if we are moody, we have certain train of thoughts. If we are happy, we have another train of thoughts, different train of thoughts. So similarly, if the mood changes, right? If we are able to somehow externally change the emotion, right? It might help them sort of change their train of thought, train of thinking. So this is how we said the body affects the mind. There's a relation between the mind-body kind of relationship.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Thank you,
So
Bhante.
hopefully that answers your question. Yes, Willie, yeah.
Okay, there's two questions from Facebook. I'll
Okay,
read
all
the
right.
first one. Hi Bante, the cause of our daily actions depends on our karma. Sorry, that's the question. The cause of our daily actions depends on our karma. The second question is, and how to reduce negative karma?
The cause of our daily actions, yeah, because we have this thing called habitual karma, right? Why we do things, certain things day after day, why we react or respond to certain situation the same way, every time. In fact, because it becomes so habitual that people might take it as your personality, to a certain extent. So this thing can be broken as well, depending on how much effort, how much will to change or transform. If it's already a positive habitual karma, by all means, carry on. If it is a negative habitual karma, then it requires more effort to create a new habitual positive karma, right? So I hope that answers the first question a bit too vague. So, and the second question again, sorry.
How to reduce negative karma?
Yeah, how to reduce negative karma? Stop doing, stop doing negative things. Yeah, this is one way to reduce, and to dilute the negative karma from taking a strong effect. Please do more good deeds. Yeah, do more good deeds. Think positive, think wholesome, speak wholesome, and act wholesomely. All right, so hopefully that helps.
All right, thank you, Bante. That's another question.
All right.
This is a bit long, okay? Some say that with chanting, you can delete a karma, delete in inverted comma. Example.
Delay or delete?
Delete.
Oh, delete, okay.
Okay. Example, you had a painful seeds that after chanting, then it disappear by itself. Is it possible?
Okay, maybe through chanting, you are creating certain positive karma that dilute the negative one. So that would be the case. It doesn't totally sort of destroy the karma. So earlier on when we talk about destructive karma, the usage is slightly different. The context is slightly different. But in terms of deleting karma, then one karma to delete another karma, that is not really described at least in our Theravada scriptures. Yeah.
So Bante, just continue from just now that what you have answered.
Yeah.
Like Mahayanas, they like to do chanting after they find that they did something bad. I mean those practitioners, not a
Okay.
girl. So when they do chanting, they having a thought of trying to reduce whatever bad deeds they have done to fall onto them. So is that a sort of a way to reduce the bad karma?
This one not just found in Mahayana. Theravada also have, seeking forgiveness. In fact, in the Thai chanting, in our evening chanting every day, we have asking forgiveness from the triple gem, from our body, speech, and mind every day. Right. So this is part of self-improvement. Self-improvement. You need to acknowledge your own faults or mistakes, and then this is how you improve. Then you can create the causes to overcome them. If you do not acknowledge the faults or mistakes, then you just repeat them over and over again, and it gets worse. Right. So this is repentance and this forgiveness is very important.
So Bante is if it's just acknowledging it, it's just doing some small part. But if you're doing a corrective, creating a good karma, there'll be a bigger part of sort of neutralize a bit on the negative bad karma.
Yeah, dilutes
right.
the bad karma. Yeah, dilutes the bad karma.
All right, thank you, Bante.
Okay, all right, no problem. Okay, so there's some in the chat. One question to Bante: does today Buddhism, with many schools like Mahayana, Zen, Theravada, Vajrayana, due to schism in Buddhist teaching today? Okay, so like mentioned again, I would say personally, I would say no. Although in the official Buddhist courses or some scholars, they will say like the Second Buddhist Council, there's a schism or many schisms, because they may not look it through the perspective of the Vinaya. They may not look through the lenses of the Vinaya. Maybe some of the scholars are lay people, right? So they will say, oh, okay, there are 18 schools of early Buddhism. They are all schism, created by schism. But if you look through the Second Buddhist Council minutes, they are formed on their own. They go to their own particular clique and they want to practice according to their favorite, their preference. It's not like they want to meet up the separate group and discuss and officially split. So this actually there's no schism. Okay, so then the second question, Bante, can you advise what are the highest good karma to work on? He's practicing in Buddha's teaching, one of them. Thank you, Bante. Yes, you have answered your own question. Yeah, so to purify, avoid evil, do good, purify one's own mind. So this is the most simplest advice I would give. So practicing meditation, coming for this class is just a small step. The whole idea in meditation is a holistic kind of training. You have to bring it to your daily life, your behavior, your thoughts in everyday activity. So this is the constant creation of karma. Because if you sit down for maybe just 1 hour in meditation, we are just creating 1 hour of meditation karma. But once you stop, now what kind of karma are you creating throughout the whole day? Right? So does that balance up? Do you make any profit? So you have to ask yourself this. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Okay, any other questions?
Okay. This one just popped into my mind.
All right.
Watching TV and entertainment.
Yeah.
How bad is the karma?
Okay, depends on how you contemplate and reflect. Depends on how you contemplate and reflect. So again, earlier on we talked about different emotions will create different mood. So if a person doesn't have insight or doesn't have concentration on a certain sense of wholesome contemplation, then when they perceive certain forms, right, certain imagery or certain whatever, then they will interpret in terms of entertainment, indulge their sense pleasure. So this is not creating more of these we call it circular karmas. Circular karma. So unless a story is themed in a way that has a moral story, something like the end of the story, there's a good moral ending to it. They have a message to bring across certain morals, then maybe it might benefit the audience. It might benefit the audience, but most of the entertainment now is like trash. Yeah? So again, it's a case-by-case basis. It's very subjective. And sometimes even for practitioners or even monastics, when we are invited to certain events, at the opening ceremony, there's certain play or certain music, and you no choice. You sit there, have to sort of watch or listen to these things. So it depends on how you perceive it, or how you use right thought to contemplate. It's not that you want to enjoy the show, but you what's the significance? You have to contemplate on it. Right? So I'll give a few examples on entertainment, at least used in the Buddha's time in a positive way. For example, the Devas, they use music. Like when the Buddha was trying to figure out the middle way, when he was still practicing asceticism, about to die. Then this certain, maybe Brahma, he manifested as a musician and started to play this string instrument, too tight to snap, too loose, cannot play any music. So that conversation of this music teacher telling this musician kind of changed the Buddha strategy in his meditation, and eventually he found the truth. Right? So music can be used in kind of a Dhamma teaching, when used in a proper context. So similarly, like the four heavenly kings, right? Four heavenly kings. This one is Mahayana description. They say one of the four heavenly kings, is using music as Dhamma propagation, using music as a skillful means, as a Dhamma propagation. So he's depicted the one holding the guitar, the string guitar-like instrument, right? So it's like the guitar god, the first and original guitar god. They are not the rock and roll guitar god. Okay, so yeah, so this is the ancient past example. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question.
Monday.
Yeah.
I asked about chanting. Sometimes we talk about chanting. Can we take chanting as the object of meditations? So I would say chanting can also be some sort of meditations where you concentrate your mind on the chanting, where it helps to calm down the mind during the chantings. That also create good karma in the sense. Can I say that? Can I say so?
Yeah, it is.
Meditation.
It is. Yeah, in fact, in the modern classification of the 6 recollections, like the recollection of the Buddha, recollection of Dhamma, recollection of Sangha. So that is the chanting. So if you want to talk about concentration, then you don't need to chant too long. You have to do a short, repetitive chant throughout the whole day. So that is the meditative aspect of chanting. But if you want to talk about just 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening, then not good enough. You want to talk about meditation, you have to chant the whole day. Yeah. So part of my assignment as a junior monk last time, in my 3rd rains retreat, I was given this assignment to memorize the Patimokkha, the 227 precepts on the monastic rules. So you have to chant in Pali language. So the advice given by the instructors or the teachers teaching me this Patimokkha is to chant the whole day. When you're walking for arms round, you have to chant. And in your mind, you have to chant. When you're sweeping the floor, you chant the whole day. You chant. That's how you memorize the Patimokkha. So sometimes you chant halfway, you stuck. Hey, what's the next line? What's the next word? And you stuck there. That's too long. The 227 precepts too long, and it's not repetitive. Every precept is different, right? So you're stuck. Right? So that's one of the disadvantages. So you start off with a short chant. So in the Thai tradition, they play cheat. They use one word or the 2-syllable mantra, Buddho, Dhammo, or Sangho, right? So you just use one word and chant throughout the whole day. So hopefully that works. So does that answer your question? Okay, yeah.
Bante, there are a few more questions in the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, this karma topic very hot. Maybe don't need to meditate. Okay. From the Facebook, Bhante, can confession of faults reduce bad karma? Yes. Confession, like what Whaley asked. Yeah, so maybe he didn't see the previous comment. So it's a repetition. Yes, it does reduce the karma. You need to acknowledge your faults. And then this is the first step of working towards changing. But if you have the pure, sincere intention to acknowledge the mistake and you want to change for the better, that itself is creating the good karma. Yep.
I think Dean has a second part to his question.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
If one retreat and meditation whole day for many weeks and months, will it be good? Yes. The more the merrier. Okay, so hopefully that answers all the questions. Any more questions? Okay, no, if not, then we have a short break. Now it's 9:26. See you at 9:31, right? So you have a toilet break, do some stretching, and we'll be back for a short guided meditation. Okay, see you back later. Right, it's 9:31. Hopefully everyone is back. And we're going to do a short meditation sitting. Right, so half an hour. Not enough karma, yeah, not enough good karma from half an hour. Right, so you cannot just rely on just a half an hour for the your karmic savings. Nowadays, we need to talk about constant passive income, yeah? This positive karmic income. So it's got to do with every moment. So I talk about the right effort and right thoughts about every moment of your life. Okay, and once you're ready, we can get settled, find a comfortable posture. Make sure you sit upright. And we're going to start off with the same routine, the reflection and the body scanning. So starting from the head, we're going to feel the various sensations of the body from head down. So if you can visualize, that's optional, but if you can't, then we're just going to feel the sensations of the body, yeah? So the whole idea of this exercise to be at peace with the various sensations. We are not trying to react or struggle to change them. So whatever sensation that arises, starting from your head, yeah, then we can start to take note how it arises and how it changed. And when it arises, we contemplate this is my past karma taking effect. So it can be good and bad. Yeah, good will be pleasant experiences, bad will be unpleasant sensations. So whatever it is, we don't try to change, try to fight it, but mentally we tell ourselves, okay, this is my past karma taking effect, and we are just trying to accept it. You can think of your eyes, your face, and the facial muscles. And then down to your neck region and shoulders. Whatever sensation that arises is due to past karmas. And then we have to accept all of them. Only when we accept, then we can find peace. If we're trying to struggle and fight, try to change the sensations, and the mind will not be at peace. And then we can think of our arms, left and right arms, all the way to your fingertips. Whatever sensation that arises is due to the past karma ripening. And then we have to accept, come to terms with all these experiences. And then we can think of our torso, the chest and abdomen region. Whatever sensation that arise, good or bad, they are due to our past karma ripening. May we come to terms with all of them. And we can think of the back of our body, the spinal cord, your shoulder blades, all the way down to the tailbone. Whatever sensations that arise, good or bad, are due to our past karma ripening. May we be at peace with them. And we can start to feel the hip region all the way down the rest of your feet, all the sensations that arise, good or bad, are due to the past karma ripening. May we come to terms with all of them. We're going to scan through the entire body again from head to toe. Make sure we are totally at peace with the body. So the purpose of this exercise is not to transform or heal the body, It's to make peace in the body. Suffering is certain, and that's the first noble truth. If the body happens to get healed for whatever reason, then that's bonus. Okay, then once we're done, we can isolate the attention to the point below the nostril, above the upper lip, right? Just one small area. So we confine this attention to the contact of the skin, and we breathe in and out, right, below the nostril. No need to fill the lungs and the diaphragm and your windpipe. So whenever we inhale, all the sensations that we breathe in, right, these are karmas ripening. And when we exhale, all the sensations that manifest, when you feel the tip of the nose, right, the sensations, all these are karmas ripening as well. So there's no need to force or coerce the mind. Any form of forcing is a form of exertion, any form of reaction. Right? You want to push the mind, then there will be suffering. But when you place gentle attention, then it's easier to start off with. So the more we make peace with the mind will actually calm down. You don't have to force the mind to calm down. The calming is actually the byproduct of making peace with your mind or your breath. So the more reflections per minute, the better. It's not just one-off. Yeah, these are karmas and that's it. Every moment, every sensation or new sensation that appears, that is karma. Yeah, you need to reflect on karma. So the various points of attention we're actually training the various cognitive functions in our daily life. So in the focus aspect, can we still practice detachment and be at peace? When we think of the whole body, can we be at peace? When we think of one point and the breath, can we be at peace? And next stop, we are trying the different aspect. We are going to use a bigger area. We're going to direct the attention to the front, and all beings in front, or all the experiences in front, all sensory experiences to the front are subject to this change. And whatever we perceive in front, these are actually our past karma ripening. So you place your attention to the front. Are you straining? Are you creating tension? Or is the mind at ease? So the whole objective throughout the different phases of this meditation, we're doing different aspects of meditation. The objective is to not cling. Yeah? The objective is to uncling and be at peace. And we bring the attention back to ourselves. Next, we wish all beings behind, or we bring attention to the back. Everything we perceive and the direction behind are due to the past karma ripening. May we come to peace with them. And we come back to ourselves. Next, we think of the left. All the things we perceive on the left are actually past karmas ripening. May we come to peace with them. And come back to ourselves, and then we radiate the direction to the right. All the things we perceive in the right direction are due to past karmas ripening. May we come to terms with all of them. We come back to ourselves, and we are going to direct the attention above. All the things we perceive above are actually past karma ripening. May we come to terms with all of them. And come back to ourselves. Next, we send this attention to the direction below. All the sensations or experiences we perceive in the direction below are actually past karmas ripening. May we come to terms with all of them. And we come back to ourselves. This time we feel the entire body again with our attention and reflect on karma. And check to see whether the mind is at ease or at peace. And eventually, we are going to radiate this attention to the entire world and the entire universe, above, below, and all across. Everything and everybody, whatever we perceive, are due to the past karmas ripening. May we come to terms with all of them. So to maintain this boundless equanimity as long as possible, we need to be mindful of any changes of the sensations in this wide field of attention. Any change that arises, we just contemplate on karma. So this is actually a very big catching game, yeah? Any change in sensory experience, you need to take note of karma. So when the expanded mind is observing the various sensations, you need to keep track of this attention. Is the attention running around to that experience, running around to that sensation by itself? We call this habitual karma. Or do we intentionally or deliberately direct this attention to that spot? Right, so we do not want to deliberately, direct your attention to the particular sensation. Let the mind be open and free. This one you can observe yourself. If you deliberately direct the mind to a particular sensation, then there will be tension compared to not directing. So these are the various modes we sort of live by every day. Sometimes we need to pay attention to a wide area. Sometimes we pay attention to a smaller area. So whatever function that the mind engages in, we need to be mindful of this karma, these changes. So with that in mind, we can gently open our eyes and officially end the meditation, physical meditation, but mentally we still need to engage in this contemplation, right, as much as possible. Okay, so everyone is sort of back. Almost everyone is back. Any further issues or problems or questions that you all want to raise? No, nothing. Or come to terms with what you experienced. Okay, yeah.
Well, one quick one.
Yep.
Due to this COVID, a lot of centers is having this e-katina.
Okay.
So let's say we donate and like normal, we donate physically and we e-donate. That means we just bank transfer. Is there any
Okay.
difference?
The whole idea is the intention.
Hmm.
Yeah, the intention. Because in the past, they started this ceremony, right? They are quite sort of stricter in the money precepts, as in they do not encourage people to, do not encourage the monks to readily accept gold and silver, right? But however, in the past, they also do allow, if a lay person who wants to donate, they insist on donating sort of gold and silver, then the monastic has to direct them to the attendant, the lay helper, right? Because of this allowance, so that's why the centers nowadays or the monasteries nowadays, they also receive donation in cash. Right? So this is the premise of this precept, right? But no, the monks themselves do not sort of openly solicit cash. Right? This is quite against the monastic rule. But yeah, because of this, so if you want to donate in cash, instead of donating in kind, because of the pandemic situation, you want to pass the items around and touch and spread the virus, then yeah, you're playing it safe. But the intention is still donating these for the requisites for the Sangha. All right, so does it answer your question?
So the weightage is the same, correct?
Yeah, it's the intention,
Whether it's e-banking or direct cash.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bhante.
Okay, no problem. All right. Any other questions, Noah? All right, then we end the session. Okay, all right. So now we do this dedication of merit. So like what we has asked, these are to the unseen beings, right? So now we're going to do this closing chant. Akasatha ca bhumata devanaga mahirika punyang tang anumoditva cirang rakantu loka sasanang etavata ca amhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabbe bhuta sabbe sata anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhiha. Transference of merit to the departed. Idang me nyati hotu, sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati hotu, sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati hotu, sukhita hontu nyatayo. And eventually aspiration. Imina punya kamena ame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavani bana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, thank you very much and good night.
Thank you, Bhante. See you all next week.
Yeah, next week will be the part 3 of karma.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Bye.
bye.